the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Would it feel good? Will it better fresh air? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Would it be beneficial to all concerned? In the beginning of creation, there was no you, but today we are Rotary. We are creating inspiration. It's not brand new, we are the people of action. It's never too late to join our hands and make the world a better place for you and me. Reaching out for one another is what the Creator sent us to do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Would it feel good? Will it better fresh air? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Would it be beneficial to all concerned? So let us stand, give a hand, helping those in need, let's join us, friend, and help one another. So let us stand, give a hand, helping those in need, let's join us, friend, and help one another. So let us stand, give a hand, helping those in need, let's join our strength and help one another.
And welcome to the Rotary Club of San Dimas Annual Teacher Mini Grants. My name is Raymond Foster, and I am the president of the San Dimas Rotary Club for this year and next year because I missed a board meeting. That's how you get elected, by the way. So feel free to join, but don't miss a meeting. Hey, so one of the things I'm going to be also the Zoom coordinator. So I've asked Casey to be the master of ceremonies this evening. Rotary here in San Dimas is 6 decades old, and for more than 3 decades, we've done these teacher mini grants where we are so supportive of education, and we're glad that you're here this evening, and we're very hopeful that next year we'll be able to do this in person. So without me saying too much further, Casey, take it away.
All right, it's wonderful to see you all and to be seen. One of the wonderful things about the Zoom night on our teacher mini grant experience is that we get to get a little bit more up close and personal. There's not as much pomp and circumstance. We're going to get in, we're going to have conversations, we're going to do a little dialogue and mixing. So after you kind of share a little bit later, I'm going to give an opportunity for somebody to ask you a question. And sometimes we lose that in the big room because we feel like, well, that just doesn't happen. So let's take advantage of Zoom while we have it and enjoy it and get to know who's in the room with us. So we are all here as far as those honored that needed to show up tonight to get their award. We also have a number of other people in the room that I consider honored, and I'm honored to be a part of their circle of influence. I'm going to start with our Rotarians. Raymond just mentioned that we are a group of people that have had a long legacy of influence, and we continue to have influence. If you don't know much about the San Dimas Rotary Club, we are small and mighty. And we have no shame and no reason to ever want to not be small and mighty, because we are swift and we are quick. We can do just about anything we want. We can raise as much money as we want, and we can move it wherever we want. And we don't have a lot of things that get in the way. And so just like tonight, we've got a lot of money coming out from a very small club to do a lot of great things. But I want you to get a chance to hear from our other club members. So I'm going to just pull them out so they go one at a time as I look and see who's in the screen and moving through. And I'm going to start with Mr. Sean Casey. Why don't you go first?
So hello, everyone. My name is Sean Casey, and I am new to the Rotary. It's been a wonderful experience. These folks are great. They're very helpful. They're a great team. They know what they're doing, and they don't mind sharing and contributing and supporting the community, which is what I like. And I'm honored. I'm very gracious for what the Rotary has done and the folks that support it. And I'm just happy to be here with you tonight and appreciate everything.
Thank you, Sean. Craig, take it next.
Hi everyone, I'm Craig Jung. I'm a dentist in San Dimas. I'm a 7-year member, past president and past secretary. I'm the current youth chair.
Awesome. Eva.
Sorry. My name is Diva Alfaro, and I am a former or past president. One thing I will say, I grew up in San Dimas. I love the city. Don't live there right now, but I'll just say that being part of this group has really pushed me to do more for my community. It's just a great experience. I've been a Rotarian for over 3 years, and to see a group of diverse people getting together, like-minded, to have the ultimate goal, which is to bring up our community, and also nationwide and worldwide. It's just a great experience that I've had, that I've ever had with any nonprofit organization that I've been a part of. So this is just a great opportunity. Never check this out. I just tell you, come and see what we're doing, because I guarantee you'll leave with a smile.
Marianne Kistler, are you able to talk to us?
Not really.
I knew it was the right question to ask. God bless you, Marianne. You've been a Rotarian almost as long. Well, you've probably been a Rotarian longer than Craig's been alive. And you have done everything around the world and done amazing things for both Rotarians around the globe, as well as many things here in San Dimas. So thank you. Mike Wallace.
Hi, everyone. Mike Wallace. I am the president of Better Home Financial in downtown San Dimas. I've been a Rotarian for coming up on 7 years, I believe. Past president, past treasurer. And yeah, it's just always great to be here serving the community with my fellow Rotarians.
Raymond, would you give a shout out to Steve Scott, who really chairs this event with it, but couldn't be here tonight, as well as introduce yourself as a Rotarian?
Yeah, Raymond Foster, past president of the San Dimas Rotary, past president and current president and president of the future. As Steve Scott is our secretary, and he really does ride herd on this project. He loves this project. His wife is a teacher. Unfortunately, he's tied up with a client in Orange County and cannot be here this evening. But I want you to know he's already mailed out the checks to the schools, but they're in a State Farm envelope. Do not throw that State Farm envelope away. That's got a check in it for you. And of course, he's a State Farm agent here in San Dimas.
Thank you, Raymond. And my name is Casey Cox, and I'm about a 10-year Rotarian in there. That includes about a year that I hung out without paying dues because Raymond didn't force me to, so I didn't pay until he said, look, you can keep eating lunch for free. What I found in the Rotarian group is a community of people that think like me, act like me, and change the world like me. And if you don't know me, then get to know me and come be a part of the Rotary and know that we are leaders who are truly exchanging ideas about how we can make the world a better place and then bringing it to an impact in our local community. So it is a joy to be with you tonight and to celebrate. I give a shout out to Greg. Greg, I'm going to come to you when I introduce you as a dignitary, but he's a Rotarian in Laverne as well. Rotarians recognize that we can do better together when we go out to make a difference. And so you are all honorary Rotarians tonight because we acknowledge that you're making a difference in your world. You're a leader who think about an idea and then you shared it and put it into action by writing a grant proposal. And now you're going to turn around and take that back and empower others to put it to good work. That's a Rotarian. Okay, so I know your teachers, I know your principals, I know that you are good people in the community, but think of Rotarians as people who meet over there in that club. Don't think of Rotarians as people who have lunch together. Think of Rotarians as people like you. Oh, I know Rotarians, I'm a Rotarian. Even if you go, I'm not paying dues right now. If you're doing the work of a volunteer, if you're doing the labor of love that makes a difference in people's lives, you're a Rotarian. And we want to partner with you again. So don't wait for another grant proposal to come out. You know how to find us now. And let's partner on what's coming up. I also want to acknowledge we have some dignitaries. Those are the rest of people on the screen that I haven't hollered out at yet. We have wonderful dignitaries, both principals and representative, and then some administrators. So I'm going to go right around. Dignitaries, principals, and representatives. What I'd love for you to do is tell everybody why you love this city. And why is it that it's an honor for you to serve in the capacity you do, to get to work with people like these teachers, the Rotary, and other organizations. But we'll start with our superintendent, kind of sitting from that perspective. And we're honored to have you here tonight. Carl, why don't you take us first?
Thank you. First, thanks to the Rotary, for everything that you do, and thinking about your question, Casey, I'm honored to be the superintendent, that serves both San Dimas and Laverne. These are communities, kind of what you had just talked about. One of our core values is a focus on results. And, without a doubt, the Rotary in the city of San Dimas does just that. It's not just talk. When the rubber meets the road, we're here to help everybody and partner together. And so for that, very thankful. And thanks to the Rotary for all that you do to support our 13 schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. And Greg, I know I gave you the shout out as a Laverne Rotarian. Greg actually came to the San Dimas Rotary first, and he had lunch with us a number of times and then opted for Laverne. He said it was political. I don't get it. Just kidding, Greg. Share with us about what it's like to be on the school board, your role as a Rotarian, and what you love about being connected to the city the way you are.
Again, Rotary, you guys do a great job. Everyone, I think, in the community knows who the San Dimas Rotaries is. You've been out there this last year or two, really making a name, and I think the community knows. All of us here on the screen that I'm looking at, we're all believe in, servicing our community, from teachers, and I give my hats out to you. I praise you every chance I get. To our administrators, to just the fellow Rotarians and other, Ryan and Emmet, public servants, and Marco. You all do what you do because you love the community. You love the kids in the community. You love the community as a whole. And it's just great to be part of a group like this. So thank you, everybody, for what you do.
Awesome. Let's look at our city representatives from San Dimas. We got Emmet and Ryan. I want to shout out to both of them first. They have both chaired events for us with the San Dimas Rotary this past year and a half. Where they have come alongside and said, I represent the city, but I also partner with the Rotary and other organizations to make a difference, not just in our city, but all the way out to Montana, doing things out in the 29 Palms. Our local representatives recognize that where they can partner with they're doing great things. And so we appreciate them both being here tonight, but not just because it's tonight, because they do it throughout the year. So let's hear from Mayor Badar first. Emmet, talk to us about how you love this city.
Hey, thanks, Rotary, for everything you do for us. When you talk about small but mighty, I think everybody knows small but mighty is pretty doggone strong. I've been at several of your meetings off and on. I have had the opportunity to chair an event or so. And it's organizations like yours and all the other 17 other organizations in the city that just does a great deal. But I'll tell you, nobody is as loud and as participating as you guys on a continuous basis. We all have events that we all realize, but every time I turn around, I open up my emails of which people know that I'm not really good at, but I always can find Ray Foster asking me, and he's continuously saying, hey, did you get this? Did you got that? And in fact, even as early as or late as today, this morning, I'm asking him for all this Zoom information. And then I have to get somebody else to come and tell me how to do it, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm trying to say in the whole thing is we are so fortunate to have your small but mighty group backing almost every event in this city. And so the reality is when you did your coat drive and your food drive and all those things, so many people throughout our nation benefits, but we're proud to be able to say, you guys represent this city and you guys are the San Dimas Rotary. But thank you very much for inviting me tonight. It's great to see the teachers. It's great to see Carl and naturally every Rotarian, or whatever you want to say, out there that does anything for us. But thank you very much. And please keep me in mind whenever you need any help.
Thank you. Ryan, introduce yourself and let us know what do you love about our school system and our teachers of the city that you so proudly lead.
Thanks, Casey, and thank you, everyone. It's an honor to be here tonight. I think what's most interesting is I look at the people that are in this meeting tonight, and I think it's really an equalizer. Leaders inspire, and everyone here is a leader, as Casey's pointed out. Whether it's our teachers, it's the members of our Board of Education, our superintendent, the mayor, even all of the folks at Rotary. Anytime I think about an organization that pulls together something that is dependable, will step up, meet the challenge, and knows no boundaries, I do think of Rotary. I think of the people specifically that are here tonight. So I love this community. I grew up in this community. It's my hometown. And it's just great to know there's the part where we serve the community. And I think we're all on the same page about that. And then there's the team that gets it done. And we're here tonight. This is the team that gets it done. I'm very grateful for all the work that everybody does here, servant leaders all the way around. And my hat's off to you quite literally. Thank you.
Put it back on.
I'm going to.
Hey, Marco, why don't you introduce yourself? A little later, you'll present a certificate tonight, but just introduce yourself so people know who you are next time you talk. Who do you represent? Why are you here?
Yep. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Marco, and I work for Senator Portantino's office.
Hi, Marco.
So hey, Ryan. It's good to meet you. I think as somebody who interfaces with constituents every day, and especially in these last couple of years that have been definitely the most challenging for sure, in terms of whether it's unemployment or people trying to get rental assistance or people trying to get, freaking stimulus checks. I mean, it really shows, it puts into perspective what Rotarians do in terms of like the food drive, for instance. Like you guys are, I have helped people, but you guys help people on, in my opinion, on kind of like on a much more micro level. And I think that's very important in communities, especially like San Dimas and Laverne and Glendora and other neighboring communities. So since we have an office in San Dimas, which I know the senator is very proud of, and we're very proud to be having one of our district offices in San Dimas. It's just great that, I love San Dimas just because it's a nice, quiet, well-run community, which is a testament to the city, but also you guys are very caring. And we have folks here from all across different service organizations. Silvia's from the chamber here. I know Raymond and Greg wear different hats because they're a school board, Masonic Lodge, Rotarians. And so we're all from different backgrounds, and we all collectively come together, and we definitely do make a difference. So always proud to be here for events. I know that Raymond, thank you for getting me involved more with Rotary over the last couple of years. That's been awesome. And my boss likes to be at everything, and he truly likes to serve the community. And so that rubs off on all of us as his representatives. So thank you.
Thank you, Marco. Chris and Adam, I'm going to save your voice for when we do the introductions for your teachers. So prep what you want to say to introduce your teachers after you introduce yourself. So I'm going to come back to you just so you know that's where that's going. Silvia, you want to give a quick introduction to yourself as an honorary Rotarian and our COO?
Sure. My name is Silvia Melendez. I'm the CEO of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce. And Casey, you had mentioned why we love San Dimas. And so I was thinking about it, and so San Dimas is a pretty big city with a small town feel. We come together when it really counts, and the Rotary is a big part of that. And so thank you again for including us, and we really appreciate being a part of this. Thank you so much.
Hey, Raymond, I'm going to bounce it over to you just briefly for you to give a little bit of a retrospective lens and then set us up to go into the mini grant presentation.
So we are the Rotary Club of San Dimas, and in this year, it has, last year was a year of change, but this one has been a year of service and growth. And I want to walk you through some of the things that we've done. And people ask, what is Rotary? Well, there's the technical definition of what Rotary is and what Rotary does. But in reality, Rotary is, as has been said, servant leaders who are working together from all walks of life. And the thing about Rotary is we don't necessarily bring money to the table. We're not a knife and fork club. We're a club that brings our expertise and our labor. And one of the things that makes us great is the fact that we have a really broad spectrum of abilities within the club that enable us to do a multitude of projects. But it's a global network of 1.2 million people, and there are 35,000 clubs around the world in nearly every country. And so we do work internationally. This club is of the top 10 clubs in the world for donations to polio. And so I think that's amazing coming from this community. One of the hallmarks of Rotary is having speakers. Every meeting we have about a 20-minute speaker with a 10-minute question and answer period. Since we've last had teacher mini grants, we've had many speakers. Zoom has given us the flexibility to reach out across the world and have people who have been enlightening, they've been entertaining. We have gotten ideas from them. We have formed new partnerships with them. Every time we have a speaker, it's a new adventure for us. And we have a great lineup of speakers all the way through May this year already. So anytime you've got some time around noon to come to a Rotary Club meeting, the kinds of things that are said and the people that we meet are quite frankly amazing. And always we walk away in having enjoyed ourselves and learned something. Our major accomplishments this year, we worked with the House of Ruth with Crossroads, a back to school project, Making Spirits Bright. We reformed the Interact Club. We formed a San Dimas Rotary Foundation. And of course tonight we're working on the teacher mini grants. Most of you probably know the House of Ruth provides domestic violence housing, but imagine leaving your home in the middle of the night under extremely stressful and distressing situations, and you end up in a shelter. Well, as people go in and out of the shelter, much of the things that they use, from bedding to shower materials and all the personal supplies and hygiene, continually has to be replenished. So we did a project with the San Dimas Masonic Lodge and through the community, and we raised over $5,000 in supplies in that drive for the House of Ruth. And there you have a picture of it, including the 5 microwave ovens that we were able to provide to them for the various apartments and houses that they have, or rooms that they have there at their facility. So the House of Ruth was one of our major projects this year. We also work with Crossroads. Crossroads is in Claremont, and they provide housing and programmatic support to formerly incarcerated women. In the last couple of years, they got a new house in Pomona, but you can see the rear yard of that house in Pomona needed a lot of work. And so we went together and we transformed lives through our labor. We wrote a grant for Home Depot and we got the supplies, and then we got the the Claremont Rotary Club, Laverne Rotary Club, San Dimas, the San Dimas Masonic Lodge, Claremont High School, some kids from San Dimas High School, and over 2 weekends, about 75 volunteers transformed this rear yard of this large property in Pomona, and we worked alongside the residents, and the comments from them and how appreciative they were of the fact that they could now walk into their backyard and enjoy themselves. So Crossroads was one of our major hands-on projects for this year also. Back to school. Now this is one of the things I think that we're learning to do. We had to learn to do, and it was difficult. There's lots of organizations, and we worked with the Laverne Rotary, the San Dimas Rotary, the Ed Foundation, and the San Dimas Masonic Lodge to make sure that in June of last year, when the kids came back to school, that they were greeted with these colorful signs. And this is one of the things that we've really learned to do, is to reach out to other community organizations, set our organizational ego aside, and work on a mission and convince people to work with us. And I think that worked out very, very well, and is really something that we've learned to do. I think that has benefited us and everyone that we're trying to help. So that was a really cool project also to work on. We worked with the Diamond Bar Women's Club on their Making Spirits Bright project. And their idea was to provide Christmas gifts to enlisted Marine Corps families at Camp Pendleton and 29 Palms. And so through a community partnerships, we sponsored a hockey game and a Marine Corps birthday dinner. And again, we brought together the Young Marines, the San Dimas Masonic Lodge, the San Dimas Rotary, and the Diamond Bar Women's Club, and a variety of other organizations, and we raised $13,000, and we're able to provide Christmas gifts to well over 100 enlisted, we're talking E4 and below. So I think there was 1 or 2 E5, but mostly E4 and below at 29 Palms and at Camp Pendleton Marine Corps Base, and these are some of the families who received gifts, and for some of them, that's the only gifts they got that year. So that was a very cool project to work on also. Interact is young people 12 to 18. We work with them to develop leadership skills and discovering themselves through the power of service. the San Dimas High School Interact Club, that pretty much those kids, those young people formed up on their own, quite frankly, and came to us and said, we want to be an Interact Club again. And so we're working very closely with them. Craig is our youth chair, and Mike Wallace is going to be the mentor for the club. I believe Mike is a San Dimas High School graduate. And so gives them the opportunity. Of course, you know, they need community service hours to graduate, but also getting them involved here in the community with a variety of other organizations. So we're pretty excited about restarting that in the last year. We also formed our own foundation. Rotary clubs work under Rotary International, and as the Rotary clubs grow, you know, when you work under an international umbrella, you have restrictions on what you can do and how fast you can move. But when you're your own foundation, it really broadens out what you can do and who you can help. And so we took it, believe me, going through the paperwork of all this, of forming a corporation and a foundation and getting the tax exemptions and everything together, we're finally on board. We've got a great bank account to start with, and so very excited about going forward with the San Dimas Rotary Foundation. We also supported the Rotary International Foundation, the Polio Plus campaign, the Rotary District Peace Conference. We've worked with the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce. Silvia there, boy, she works us like you would not believe. And the Southland Young Marines. So we provided primarily some financial support for the first three, but really labor for the last two. And the labor, financial support, writing a check is nice, and you know that's what people sometimes want, but it's through labor and working alongside people that we really form long-term relationships. We have this long commitment to teachers, and these photographs go back at least 12 years of the teachers that we've provided mini grants to. And so this is something that throughout the year through fundraising and planning, we will do again next year. And so anytime you see us selling See's candy or a raffle ticket, it's going to this project. So keep that in mind. This year's recipients, and we'll go through these one at a time when Casey passes them out. But we have a really wide variety from Holy Name of Mary, McKinley, the high school, Chaparral High School, and then a couple of the elementary schools. And we were very pleased that, I want you to know, we got 3 times as many requests as we were able to fund. And so we really went through these, and we are excited about the projects that you have. Hey, what's going to happen next? What do we got planned? In 2022, well, I tell you, in a week from Saturday is our 29 Palms food drive. Most people don't think of food insecurity when they think of military personnel, but the truth is that 22,000 military families, that's active duty families, currently receive SNAP, that's federal support for food. 213,000 National Guard or reservist families, and 1.1 million veterans receive food assistance in some manner. The 29 Palms has the Pelican Shop, which is a food pantry for enlisted Marine Corps families out there. 29 Palms is peculiar in that it's the largest military base in the United States. It's as large as Rhode Island. It is remote. It is very remote. A Walmart is an hour's drive for them. Generally, some of the, in fact, down for medical care is more than an hour from them because the base clinic is very limited in what they can do. There are currently 65 pregnant spouses at that location. There are 10,000 Marines and about 1,000 sailors and their families there. And so our goal is to raise 4 tons of food. The last time we did a food drive, we raised 2 tons. We already have a half a ton at the Masonic Lodge. The Masonic Lodge is our partner, and we already have a half a ton there, but a week from Saturday we'll be collecting food, and we've already received more than $3,000 in donations. We'll be writing a check to the Armed Services YMCA, so that's going on. We're very excited about, again, the San Dimas High School Interact. We're going to focus on that in 2022. There's a car show coming up, Silvia, and that car show, you know, the boosters, that's their thing. That's going to be for them to raise money. But we're going to be there as helpers with them, and we've put, quite frankly, I'll take credit for this, we put the people kind of together to help do this. So we're very excited. We're also working with Habitat with Humanity and the City of San Dimas on a Brush with Kindness. And we're using code enforcement and a couple of people there at the city. And we're looking for senior, disabled, or a veteran, someone in the city's house needs some kind of improvement to come up to some code. Habitat Humanity was going to provide us with The construction part of it, we're going to do part of the fundraising, but the last part of it, the painting and the cleanup and all that, we'll be doing that with volunteers. So that will benefit someone here in San Dimas as soon as we figure out exactly who that's going to be. So that's the one project we're very excited about. That's a new relationship with Habitat with Humanity, and so we're excited. Building the San Dimas Rotary Foundation out, that's again for 2022. We will again be doing Making Spirits Bright, which is the Christmas gifts for the Marine Corps personnel, and we already have the Marine Corps dinner. That dinner raised $13,000. 120 people were in attendance at the San Dimas Masonic Lodge, who are our partners. Through two of the people on the Zoom call tonight, at least, are Masons at that lodge. And so we'll be doing that. We won't be doing spaghetti this year. It'll be a little more formal, slightly more expensive, but we'll be doing short ribs, and I'll tell you, the short ribs we do are the best. It's gonna be a great dinner. The 2026 committee, this came out of Rotary, and it's met one time, and that is a combination of anyone in the community, business organizations, service organizations. We've got the Parks and Rec manager on board, and what we're looking to do is how can this community plan the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence? What do we want to do? And so we have 4 years to plan, fundraise for, organize, and execute the best 250th anniversary of any small town in the United States. And that to me is exciting. Also, if you want to participate in that, shoot me an email at sandimasrotary@gmail.com, and we'll get you to the next meeting. Finally, teacher mini grants. We will do it again next year. So we're planning that already, and that's going forward. Oops, sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. I apologize. Where are we?
Not done yet, Raymond?
No, I got
All
my last screen. Hey, we are your neighbors. We're people of action, and we are Rotary. Back to you, Casey.
There you go. When we say we're small but mighty, now you know why we say that. We are making a big difference. And if you're not tired yet, involved. And if you are tired, then sit down. You don't have to get up and do anything else. We're going to keep moving. We're going to transition into why you showed up tonight. And here's, we don't do anything without having a purpose and meaning behind it. We want to help you celebrate yourself. Okay, what Raymond just demonstrated and what we started off with is really celebrating who we are. You are a leader and people are watching you. The Rotary is watching you. Teachers who got awards tonight, who got a grant, it wasn't an accident. You may not thought you were going to get it, but you did the work. We took notice and we said, you stand out. Now, what I want to invite every teacher who's here tonight that received a grant is to turn around and recognize, you know what? I need to talk about myself like I'm making a difference in the world. I don't need to shrink. In fact, if I shrink, I'm diminishing the impact I can have. And Raymond just demonstrated in a glorious manner what it looks like for the San Dimas Rotary to say, we're going to tell you how wonderful we are. And if we don't tell you how wonderful we are, you will have no idea the impact that we're actually having. And so as you take out your grant recipient envelope from State Farm, which is really from the Rotary, and you open it, I want to invite you to just talk about it with your coworkers. When you get a chance, tell them, look, hey, I'm so excited. This is what I get to do. Don't wait for people to come ask you, hey, I've noticed that you did something new in your classroom. How did you get the funding for that? If they have to come ask that, then you are missing the opportunity to share something great that you're doing. Okay, so that's my charge for all of you tonight. That is my message, and that's all I got. I'm not going to talk. I'm done. Zipped.
Casey.
About yourselves. Yes.
Casey, this is Emmet. I've looked at all of these people on the screen and everything, and I seem to be the oldest. So that means that my memory is not really good. But did we bypass Silvia and the Pledge of Allegiance?
We did bypass the Pledge of Allegiance, but we didn't bypass Silvia. We can do that right now, and I think that's a great call to action and honor. I was going to make Mike do it at the end, but Silvia.
All right, thank you so much, Mayor. I really appreciate that. And everybody, if you could join me on the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, whenever you're ready. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it stands, one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
liberty
liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Emmet, thank you for the call to order. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the night, you are welcome to shout out and interrupt. We're just sitting in a room together having a good time. But we are going to move into our presentation of the awards. And so we've got a couple principals in the room that I just want to say thank you for taking the time tonight to be valued and to value those that on your campuses are making a difference. I'm going to go Adam, then Chris, then Adam, just because that's how I see it laying out. So Adam, you get to pick either one of your two teachers that are here. And what I'd like you to do, Adam, is introduce them to us through the way you see they're impacting your school. So what is it that that teacher is bringing to your campus? Let us know from your point of view, and you can say anything about who you are, but I know you're here to celebrate your staff. So, and then what we'll do for each one of our recipients tonight, after the two principals I've introduced, we'll go one at a time for each. Then every teacher is going to share, what are you going to do with the money? Because that's what we really want to know. What are you going to do? You don't have to tell us all the thoughts behind it. Just start right out. I got this amount of money and this is what's going to happen with it. And this is what I'm most excited about. This is the money. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm excited about. We're going to give one quick follow-up question for each teacher. Okay. And all that question is it's a way for that teacher to think more deeply about what they're going to do next, because we have educated minds in the screen. And sometimes if somebody asks the right question, it can take an idea and send it to the next level. Okay. So Adam, you're up first. Who would you like to introduce?
So I would like to introduce both of them because I have two awesome teachers that are both receiving grants today. So
I'm going to introduce both. I'm just going to have you do one and she gets to speak and then we'll have you introduce the other one.
Okay, so I'd like to first introduce Robin, one of our kindergarten teachers. She brings a lot of excitement. She was our teacher of the year last year at Shull, and she's just so wonderful to have. She's been one of my go-to people. She was on leadership last year, and she's always finding ways to improve kindergarten and finding ways to improve the living space of the kindergartners. So I'll let her go.
All right, Robin, tell us what you're going to do. How much money you got, Robin, and what are you going to do with it?
Got $500, which is amazing, and we are going to make a new sand area for the kindergarten, so it will be helping out 100 children every single year, and we're going to buy sand with the $500.
Love it. And here's what I want somebody in the group to do is ask a question. Ask one of those good teacher questions that you would say is going to spark a new idea. Robin may or may not have a quick answer to it, but does anybody have a question? Why sand? What are you going to do with it? How's it going to work? It's your opportunity to find out. Robin won $500 to buy sand. What do you want to know about that?
I have a question. How much sand can you buy with $500?
You know, honestly, I think we might be able to fill up at least half of the sandbox. So we'll see. I haven't priced out the scoops exactly yet. If I can get it through Home Depot, it's a little more expensive. So it will depend on what kind of sand we get. And I know it sounds like a flippant thing, sand. But honestly, it's like the basic engineering skills. And more importantly, this year especially, are the social skills. The kids are working together, and after being home for a year and a half, they really need it.
So Robin, I'm going to give you a encouragement depending on the time order. I would reach back out to the Rotary, hint, and say, can you guys partner up with me, write a letter to one of the local Lowe's or organizations in our city and see if they'll match our purchase price, double the sand you're going to get to say, I have $500 to buy sand. It only fills up. I'm partnering with the local Rotary group and they're going to help it be delivered. Can you get me the rest of my sand? So that way the Rotary can come back around and see if we can get you the whole sandbox filled.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Right. See, that's what happens when somebody asks a good question. We double what we're going to do. Chris, would you introduce your teacher?
Hi, I'm Christine Black, very proud principal of Chaparral Vista High School. Our mini grant award recipient is a counselor, not a teacher. It's Jamie Razo, and she has only been with our school. This is her first year, but she has made such a tremendous impact as a guidance counselor, social emotional support for our students. And as you know, our job is to prepare students to live their purpose as they get older or as they leave us. And as the alternative school in the district, we really have a strong commitment to preparing our students for their next steps. Many of them, college is not necessarily the very next step out of high school. And so with that, I will introduce Jamie and let her explain what it is that she's going to do with her grant.
All right, Jamie, take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm so honored to be here with the mayor and our superintendent and my principal. So I'm just super, super excited. This is my first mini grant, and I think of this as a mega grant because this is huge. It's like I said, I've been a school counselor for 20 years, but it's my first year with San Dimas, and I love Bonita District. It's just, there's so much camaraderie and support here, and that is everything, and it's so evident with the students. But my passion is college and career readiness, helping prepare students for their next steps. And you know, when you think about, they spend 4 years in high school prepping for their next steps, but we really don't work a ton on college and career. So there's classes and there's things that we do, but here I brought a college and career fair. And so we invited lots of guest speakers to come share their success stories and what training and college was necessary. So with that, we've already had Citrus on campus and virtual Zoom meetings such as this with Mount SAC. And so we've had lots of people here, but we had to borrow a lot of our supplies. So with my grant, I was able to get the $500. So I'm so excited, but I'd like to get us some pop-up tents or the easy up so that we could frame it in, and we can also use those for follow-up events. And because everything's outdoors these days, right? And with our California beautiful weather, it's a perfect spot to have company. And I also wanted to purchase some materials, some books and things that I've had my eye on that I've been researching, and some incentive gift cards, and then banner paper is really pricey, so we were running out of some of those supplies. So and also some like personalized supplies to carry out our college and career theme that our students, their future is now. So thank you very much. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
Anybody got a question? I got 5 seconds to go for it.
Comment. Is that okay?
Go ahead, Sylvia.
So it's not so much a question, just congratulations. That's such a great way to go about with that grant. I want to encourage you to also take advantage of, we're having a career fair, so please feel free to send your students our way. We're having it this Tuesday from 3:30 to 5, and I thought that would just be a great fit, and I just want to make you aware of it. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you for that lead. I appreciate it.
Bounce that back to you, Adam. You have another teacher here.
Yes, so the next teacher I'd like to introduce is Terry Hugar. She is another leader on our campus. She helps run the student council here and does all types of amazing things. Some of them include kids cans, where they gather cans to help gather money to support high need students. She helps out with finding our high needs families and donating gifts for them for our toy drives. She's just really involved with the students on campus, and I'll let her introduce her project right now. And she's just wonderful to have here.
Thank you. And thank you, Rotary, for the grant. So my grant is for $225. And the past few years, the district has had trainings with a mathematician. Her name is Kim Sutton, and we've done several trainings, and she just has all these really great hands-on manipulative games and game boards and ideas. And so we've implemented them through the years. And I just wanted to expand my, I guess my supplies, because you know, the district we've been able to get some like through our school funds, but otherwise most of it we just buy on our own. So I'm pretty excited just to, it's all going to be math centers. So there's fun dice and just basically cardstock paper to copy game boards on that the kids will reuse for centers. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. And this is my first grant too, so I really appreciate it. And I had no idea, like you guys do a lot of great things, so it's inspiring.
So you have a question for Terry?
Not necessarily a question, but you know, just with that great introduction, knowing that you're seeking out students that are in need of supplies or materials, feel free. That's a perfect opportunity to, when you identify a need, to come back to the Rotary and let us know what you're seeing, what you need. And, you know, if it's not something that we can personally do, we can probably find a way to get those resources for you. So, you know, that door is open, and keep us in mind as a resource.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was making a big list here that, because we're always, you know, we do a food drive and I'm like, oh, maybe not, you know, so thank you. We'll definitely stay in touch.
I'm going to call out Dakota Wicks. Dakota, you're over at McKinley. Can you come off and introduce yourself and talk to us about what you're going to do with the money, how much you got, and why you're so excited about it?
Yes, sir. First off, I just want to apologize. I'm having some technical difficulties over here. Yeah, there's no other way. There's nothing else to say. I'm struggling, and it's a little irritating, but you know what? I'm blessed to be here. I just appreciate. I was shocked, like you mentioned early on. Some of you may not have thought you got it. I was definitely one of those people. I've just recently got my own classroom. It's my first year of teaching, and I kind of was thrown into the fire a little bit, and I'm trying to, you know, figure it out on the go. And these are the things that I brought up were just things that I've recognized as quickly as I can that would help immediately, you know. And again, I'm blessed to be here, and I thank you guys.
But is this your first, I know you're in San Dimas working. Are you familiar with the area?
You know, I played baseball my whole life in Orange County, California. I played at Fullerton. San Dimas was always a neighbor. You know, I never really, I wasn't too familiar with it, but I always knew it was right there. And I've actually been working here for 4 years. So I guess, you know, I'm getting familiar with it.
Well, welcome, and glad you're here, and make a difference on that campus.
Will do.
Congratulations. All right, let's move over to the Holy Name of Mary School. So we'll start with Brenda Berumen.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you. I received one of the $500 grants, and I am extremely grateful. It's going towards our robotics teams that we're building up at Holy Name of Mary. Last week, actually, we competed in one of our first competitions and we got 3rd place. So we're doing very well. So the money's going to go to towards buying more equipment, which is quite expensive. So we're hoping to get more equipment so the kids can build different styles of robots, and then, you know, take the program and get more kids involved, because we have about almost 90 children who want to be in the club. But because the equipment sometimes can be a bit expensive, we've limited the number. So this is really going to help us get those numbers to grow and help those kids, because robotics really does help the children grow with teamwork, with their social skills right now. And they love it. They really do enjoy it. So thank you for that.
Anybody have a question? Time for one. My quick question is, how long has the robotics club been a part of Holy Name of Mary?
I started it about 3 years ago, but because of COVID, we took a pause. So really, we've only been like ongoing for 2 years.
It's tough, and what a growth.
Yeah.
Two from Jonathan Medina.
Good evening, and thank you to the Rotary Club for this wonderful opportunity and wonderful grant. We are going to use it for a circuit board kit. We were fortunate to receive $500, and the circuit board kit is a basic starter kit. It's very hands-on learning. As my colleague just mentioned, we have the robotics club at school, and so I was hoping to foster that education or that need for education towards STEM and robotics. And so I'm hoping that with this starter kit, that my fourth graders, excuse me, can really get involved and see what's really behind our technology today.
Anybody have a question on what that is or how, anything else?
What age, what grades are participating in your robotics club?
That would be a question for my colleague, Ms.
So
Berumen.
Right now, we're offering it to the middle school students, so from 5th to 8th grade, but we're hoping to start a program for the younger ones, and we can include anyone from kinder to 4th grade in that group.
Love it. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for asking, Christine.
I have a quick question. What competitions, if any, or what do those look like at this level, and do you guys have anything coming up?
Well, so the sad thing is that the pandemic unfortunately has limited some of those competitions, but they are actual state competitions. And if you make it far enough, you can even go to like a world competition, and you get to compete against many other countries. So it's a major program. It's in many different colleges as well and high schools. So that's why we're trying to foster it at the younger level. So when they do go to a high school that might offer the program or a college, they have a bit of background in it. So we're very excited that our next door neighbor, which is Damien High School right now, does offer the robotics program as well. So they're happy that we're offering at the middle school level because our kids get to go in a bit more prepared and compete as well through them.
All right, let's head up to San Dimas High School, Mr. Jared Pugh.
Well, howdy, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. This is, I think, my second grant. Many years ago, we did a student scholarship, and that was a tremendous trip and for our chamber singers back in the day. This time, I'm coming wearing my Lone Hill Middle School hat. I'm also the director of choral music at Lone Hill Middle School. And over the pandemic, we've had to make many adjustments to the way that we teach music, choral music and instrumental music. And so we've faced a lot of challenges, but we've also found a lot of opportunities. And one of those was when we came back into the classroom, using technology to further our music education for our students. And at the middle school, we learned, myself and my colleague, Ms. Leva, that using Apple TV, you can screen mirror your phone or your Apple products or your iPad onto an Apple TV. And so we started using that in our classroom because we found out, oh, we have a nice old Apple TV. But the operative word was old. And so we put together, her and I, we chatted about this grant, and we've been wanting to maximize our funding at our school sites to help our students. And so we thought, well, this would be just like a really wonderful treat to have a faster way to share images with our students, to share music with the students, to show them how to notate their music and really accelerate their learning. And so with this simple $175 grant, we'll be able to upgrade our Apple TV and turn our board into essentially a smart board for our music students. And so it'll serve approximately 300 music students at Lone Hill Middle School between the choir and band department. And so we're just super excited to be a recipient of this award. Thank you so very much.
Any other question? I'll just say it's a privilege when we can contribute $175 to impact an entire middle school population in the arts. I mean, just think about the impact that can have, and that makes it possible. Thanks, Jared. Let's hit our last recipient, Kelly Solis over at Ekstrand.
Hi, thank you guys for having me, and thank you so much for the grant. I got $500 and I'm planning on purchasing some flexible seating options and some fidgets and some fluorescent light coverings. I currently teach 5th grade, and in the past I've had success with some flexible seating around the classroom with different options for students to choose and move around. But with COVID, we've been more like stagnant and everyone's kind of staying in the same area. And it's kind of hard for the kids. I have 36 kids in this class, and they get kind of and seeing needing some different options. So I'm hoping to provide some choices for a few of the kids in my class that we can safely rotate through. So yeah, so that they'll be able to be their best while they're here at school.
Anybody have a question for Kelly? Love the creativity, Kelly, and way to make the environment the best it can be for your students. Well done.
Thanks.
I'm gonna reach out to Marco. Marco, you have a certificate to present to all of our educators here tonight.
Yes, so I actually have certificates for every single one of them, so not just one collective cert. A few years ago, I came when we were in person. I had the privilege one day of, I think Mike was there. I presented certs to all of the mini grant recipients. So when Raymond actually contacted me and stated that that you guys were doing it again this year, I thought, well, okay, I want to replicate what I did a couple years ago. So just in the interest of not being able to show certificates very well on screen, I'll show you guys one. This one is for Solis. I have a Senate certificate for you, Kelly, and I made one for everybody else. So, you know, I want to congratulate you guys, and I want to thank you guys for everything that you are doing for our children, especially in these really trying times right now of COVID. And hopefully, as we're inching our way forward towards, I don't even like using the word normalcy anymore, but to whatever our future is going to be, you know, we really do appreciate you guys. So I have these certs. I'm going to mail them tomorrow morning to Raymond, and then you guys should get them after that. So congratulations on behalf of Senator Portantino, and thank you for all you guys do.
All right, thank you, Marco. I just close up our remarks, Mike. Mike, you're going to present a little bit on the four-way to take us home, to give everybody something to walk away with from the Rotary. Raymond, you're going to close up the night, but I just want to say thank you to all of our educators and our dignitaries and those that know that what we're doing matters. If it ever gets to the point in your day that you go, oh my gosh, is it worth it? The answer is yes. It's yes. It's yes. It's worth it. And tonight you guys are shining, all of you, very bright. So thank you for making a wonderful contribution and difference in the world around us. Mike, I'm going to hand it over to you to demonstrate that it is an absolute yes, you're making a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Casey. Yeah, so the Rotary four-way test was developed about 90 years ago by a handful of Rotarians, and you know, it's really an ethical and a moral code that all Rotarians live by. And it's of everything that we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? So I like to think of this as the four-way test as an intersection, a four-way stop. You know, there are instances where you can think, say, or do something that is truthful, and it may be fair, but it may even build goodwill and better friendships, but it's not beneficial to everybody. Or it may be beneficial and it may be fair, but it's not the truth. So we look at this as a four-way test. If it passes all four of those tests, then you can act with confidence that you're morally, ethically doing the right thing. And that is the Rotarians four-way test.
Thank you, Mike. Raymond, close us up.
Thank you so much, Casey, for being our master of ceremonies this evening. And thank you, everyone, and congratulations on the grants. There is one, well, first, before I go to the one thought, hey, Robin, if you will go to Home Depot and find out how much sand is, I will write a grant to Home Depot to match the 500. I guarantee you do that. And we're very successful at our grant writing. So if you'll get a price, we'll follow up on that.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just get me a price. You've got my email back to sandimasrotary@gmail.com.
Okay.
Lastly is, you know, Rotary, when we talk in the beginning of every meeting, we look at the spokes in the wheel and we consider that our members, because, you know, Rotary is the wheel, the emblem. the thing is, you have tonight have gotten a glimpse into all the things that we're doing. If we don't know how to do it, or we don't have the money for it, we know somebody who does. So if you encounter a problem or a project or something that needs to be done, and you give us a call, maybe we can't do it, but we sure can point you in the right direction and help you get there. And so I want to thank all of you for your service to the community. And I had all 5 of my children go through the San Dimas school system, and 3 of my 4 grandchildren, and they're all functioning adults. They're great adults. I mean, that's more, hey, with your kids, if they get up there and they're in their 40s and they're doing a good job, and your grandchildren are in their 20s and they're employed and they're doing a great job and they're in college, it's because of the school district. And I tell everybody this, you know, I was in the military, I was in the police force. I know that a couple of other people are veterans here. Freedom is not created by the military. Freedom is created by education. Freedom is created by people who teach others to read and to write and to think for themselves. So I think our schools generate our freedom, and they should be honored as such. And thank you so much for tonight, and we'll see you at our next Rotary Club meeting. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, Greg.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.